Howdy, Nimoy LaCoy here, bringing you Love and Respect, Chapter 6. Now, Chapter 6 is in search of the mature one in the relationship, the one to get your relationship with your spouse off of the crazy cycle. And it's a difficult first move because doing things we don't want to do, right, it's difficult, but it is also a sign of maturity. When I'm willing to love a disrespectful wife, when my wife is able to respect an unloving husband, that is maturity. You're doing something that you don't want to do. I know a lot of times in our relationships you want your partner, you want them to want to do that. You want them to just instinctually know it, and they do it. But if I instinctually know it and do it, and I'm not even thinking about it, how much value does it have? How much value does it have where I say, honey, I've identified that this is important to you. You've told me that it's important. It's difficult for me. It's hard for me to do this. But because I love you, I am going to make a concerted effort day after day after day for you. That's maturity. That's maturity. One of the lines that he introduced in this book is one of his like super secret marriage tips, where it says, like one of his phrases where when he would find his wife like sounding hostile and disrespectful, his line was this. It said, honey, that felt disrespectful. Did I just now come across as unloving? So rather than going on the offensive and attacking his wife, why are you being disrespectful? What's wrong? Blah, 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 blah. He goes to the root of the problem. Honey, did I say something that sounded unloving to cause this reaction? And there you get to go from there. And one thing that really stood out to me too from this chapter is that for women to process things, I don't know if your wife does this as often or your spouse does this, but they have to process through things out loud. And sometimes my wife can drive me nuts with this when she processes through things out loud, because then I'll throw in an opinion or an advice. She wasn't looking for it. She just wanted to talk. She's processing out loud. But sometimes in this processing out loud, we're going to hear our shortcomings. We're going to hear our failures. We're going to hear things that we men hear as criticism. And we just have to know that it's our wives venting. It's them processing. It's not them trying to heap all this burden and pain and suffering and anguish and responsibility upon you. They're processing. They need to let it out. They're processing through it, and we're going to have to hear that. Your gaming time might be called in question. You know, like anything can be called into question. If you're prioritizing games over your family or work or chores or any other things around the house, could be called out. It's going to be difficult, but it's a step that we need to take. It's a step that we need to take in maturity. And if you want to resolve conflicts and not just try to brush them under the rug and say, I'll deal with those later, or just ignore it until it explodes, these types of conversations are going to have to take place. But these conversations are the ones that are going to help us get off the crazy cycle. I look forward to what we're going to have to talk about in Chapter 7.